Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for virtuals, Tau and CRV price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. We're gonna start with virtuals here on the 2 hours chart where we have our impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finished wave 1 or wave A. After both case scenario, you see, of course, 3 waves, a structure corrective. That means, of course, we are already in a correction. We didn't saw, of course, any kind of impulsive wave after it. It is 3 waves again for an ABC. And finally, we see right now another ABC zigzag toward the downside. Now, basically, this is ABC as well, meaning, of course, you are in 3 waves for every structure here, turning this into W, X, and a Y. However, I'm not convinced yet with this wave Y, since of course the zigzag here is much more shallower than the W in comparison here, which is of course bringing us still to a scenario for an impulse, which it might be of course here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can be finished, but I'm afraid again to bring this 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 toward the downside, meaning the invalidation was not taken and you're still ranging right now in a wave 4 and a 5 to reach the target required for this regular flat at 1 to 1 Fib level in precision between, of course, the target for wave 2 here, 0.5, 0.618 in confluence, of course, and then moving towards the upside. If we move on the 15-minute chart to see this structure internally, what is unfolding, however, here we can see, of course, kind of like a 1, 2, 3, wave 4 and a wave 5 given an A B, and a C, of course, finished there. So yes, there is a potential, of course, on the micro level to be in a wave 1, 2, but don't forget that it can be also an A, B, and a C at the same time. So zigzag can be unfolding. ABC as a wave 4, you would like to reach the invalidation level at 1.46 to make sure that you are bullish here. But of course, if you unfold this above the 1 to 1 Fib level taken from the highs here to the low, we can of course start to think about a bullish scenario where we might see it here on the 15-minute chart at the 1.28. If we reach above it, or I would say overshoot it impulsively and with a structure that is not finished yet as a 5 waves, that means of course might be a wave 3 rather than a wave ABC here as a zigzag. So yeah, a test is required of course at this level for virtual at 1.28 dollar. And virtual, of course, basically still bullish on the daily. Of course, you can go back for the previous video for virtuals. You can find the daily over there. Let's see Tau on the 2 hours chart here for the alternative scenario where we have, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here for an impulse toward the upside, finishing, of course, a major wave 1 and a wave 2, and we're looking for higher prices. After this corrective wave here, very corrective, I would say WX and a Y, yes, wave 2. And we're looking at here at alternative potential scenario as 1212. We are estimating the second one too, which is of course at the 0.618 here, which it might of course unfold something toward the upside. However, if we move inside it, we have of course again 2 possibilities here. We have an extended wave C in ABC zigzag where you have finished exactly in this blue box and you have finished this wave 2 and you move towards the upside impulsively where we see another 1, 2 currently and 3, 4 and a 5. Of course, the answer is gonna be given over there if we see continuation towards the upside. Therefore, yes, this might be a potential bullish scenario, but of course you might still have to test the 1 to 1 Fib level again, of course, for a zigzag, which it might still be a wave 4 here, and that because you are in a potential 1, 2, 3 as well, and then a wave 4 and then a wave 5 to reach, of course, even for lower prices. If we reach, of course, the 886 here, might means, of course, that you are still looking for lower, and you might take, of course, this low there, turning all this wave here as a 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to take the low as a wave 2 extended here, and then start to push again toward the upside. So all the answers wants to be given, of course, in this area, in this small price here, where we might finish as ABC If we overshoot, okay, therefore we are bullish. We have finished, of course, a zigzag there, and we're moving towards the upside 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. To be tested again, the invalidation at 402 has to be taken in case, of course, it is. Therefore, this is a confirmation for your bullish scenario. Of course, Tao is still, of course, very bullish as well on the daily. You can find it as well on the previous video for a Tao. We're gonna move for the next one for the CRV here as well on the 2 hours chart, where we are looking here at an impulse, or I would say leading diagonal toward the upside as a 1, 2, wave 3, 4, and a 5 toward the upside here. Of course, you have kind of like a little bit shaky leading diagonal, but still can be, of course, a wave A here. Wave B, well, here is a little bit, you have to consider this as kind of like expanding diagonal, finishing here an A, B, and a C, because you are in zigzags here, right? So you would like to see, of course, those zigzag. Now, this can be a zigzag, but only through an ending expanding diagonal, which is very, very rare case scenario that you might have. After this ABC zigzag toward the downside finished wave 2, we see here 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Finished wave 1, and potentially we're looking for a wave 2 to hit the 0.38. Now, as you can see as well, very interesting price action here, where we can see a W, X, and a Y, probably finished, of course, as three-way structure, finishing here between, of course, the 1.618, 1.38 for an expanding flat. But of course, if you have to count this as an expanding flat, therefore you have to count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 over there. Knowing the wave 4 is not really alternating with the wave 2, but still, of course, a potential scenario. After this, we start to see something impulsive but very noisy over there and corrective for a wave 2. Probably in case this is a wave 2, you have a 1, 2, and then you would like to see simply continuation towards the upside. Higher confirmation, which is at the same time double confirmation, taking the high and also the invalidation of any bearish scenario. If you take this price, you might continue toward the upside, but don't forget, of course, you have to test again the 1-to-1 fib level over there, which it might be very close as well, which it might, of course, fake out and then move it toward the downside. However, if we move 3 waves up here, it would be a little bit hard also to say that we are very bearish, because this might turn, of course, 3 waves down, 3 waves up. Then what is next? Yeah, so how we can interpret this corrective wave? So I would say something else might be unfolding, can be, of course, a triangle, therefore, and then moving toward the upside. So very probable, in case, of course, that we move from this wave 1, 2, and we don't move, of course, continuously toward the upside. So we're gonna see step by step, guys. So on the 15-minute chart, we can see also still a lot of noise here. But now we see kind of like a leading diagonal wave 1, wave 2, but you would like to see simply continuation for higher. Now, a signal, of course, again, if we overshoot the 1-to-1 fib level, 0.97, this might be your signal, of course, for higher prices. Yep, so that was it for virtuals, Tao, and CRV for the 2 hours chart. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.